Level Up Latina partners with working women and mamas alike to guide them in achieving fulfilling career and life goals through financial empowerment, professional or leadership coaching, and personal wellness. Find the unique coaching you need to succeed.
You're listening to Vettel, Ceci, and Irene, and we are Level Up Latina.
Welcome back to another episode of the Level Up Latina podcast. This is episode 311. 311. That's a band, huh? 311. And then what was Peaches and Cream band? What was that band? Do you guys remember?
512, no?
112.
Oh, 112.
All these numbers, yo. Anyway, thank you for your support in the intro of this podcast. But it's episode 311, and welcome back. We, this is a show where we keep it real about balancing career, family, money, and everything in between as first-gen Latinas leveling up in la vida. So I hope you get ready because today we're trying something a little different. Well, actually, it's not that different because we've done rapid fire questions and we've done fun episodes where we kind of just go of like, hey, what would you do? So today is episode of Would You Rather Level Up Latina edition. And so it's going to have a couple questions. You know, we're going to go through questions from family to career to money, things like that, and hopefully see where this also takes us in conversation. Because you girls, you people in the audience know that we can talk about anything and everything at any moment. So before we get started, I want to check in with my co-host. ¿Cómo se encuentran, mujeronas? Ahora.
Bien, I think I said 512 because I was thinking el chico del apartamento 512.
Because you're a Latina true and true. It's like R&B group. What is that? I'm doing good. I have a new chair. We were talking about getting older and getting excited about random things, but I'm excited about my new chair, my comfort. I had a really cool looking chair, but it wasn't practical, and I finally threw in the towel after 2 years. So aquí estoy estrenando mi silla with my ergonomic. Yeah. There she goes. I think she's got it ergonomic.
I'm the one that speaks the least English, you guys.
So if I fall asleep, is blame the chair.
Blame it on the chair.
Roncando. It's hella comfy.
Chair. Well, I'm glad you got a new chair. So we're going to warm up going, okay, chicas? Chicas del apartamento 512, 113, 311, listas? Una little warm up. We'll make it light, and maybe it's funny, maybe it's not. Maybe it makes us cry because, we're on edge because we're entering menopause. I'm just kidding. Cuarentón.
No, we're not.
Oye,
we're not kidding.
You do. Acá la Irene con su UGA
this
red
is my
hat.
MAGA hat. People always think this is my MAGA hat. I get so many dirty looks.
Oh my God, yes,
like,
because
it looks like
GA.
a freaking MAGA hat. But
Uga,
it's
uga.
UGA.
Uga, uga.
It's so annoying.
There you go. Okay. You can leave the Georgia side. Why you distracting me though?
Cada quien supporting their kids' sports.
You know what? I'll be right back.
There goes Ceci. Show us the Panthers. Show us the Panthers.
Go Panteras Negras. Woo! So,
and then Gali started softball. Excuse me.
And she's part of the Dodgerettes. She's part of the Dodgerettes.
Ooh, shut up. That's so cute.
Eso. Pero qué bueno, she's a Dodger. Boo Giants. I had to say that. Anyway.
Those are such good sports for young girls. I'm really proud of all of you because those are great sports for girls. Softball and volleyball.
They are also very competitive. So I'm trying to have them not freak out. See what I mean? We can talk about anything and everything. We're going to get there.
I know.
Let me warm you ladies up though. Let me butter you up primero. ¿Sale, vale? A ver, chicas. Ahí les va. Would you rather always run late or always leave a party too early? You guys already know my answer, but a ver, ¿qué crees, Ceci? Tú, always run late or always leave a party too early?
Ay, man. Si voy yo sola, I'm gonna arrive late. If I go with my crew, my husband and my kids, we're gonna leave early. We're gonna be there on time because that's the way we run. And yeah, so that to not complicate things with the girls, fussiness and all that. So yeah. Si voy yo sola,
I've been there with Ceci leaving the party early. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because of the kids.
And you were also there.
Y yo llegué tarde.
Yeah.
Irene, what would you rather? Always run late or always leave a party too early?
Yeah, I like to be on time, but not for parties. I don't want to be the first one there. So I'd rather not leave the party early. No, let's get there late.
And you guys know my answer. I would rather run super early to things. I'm just kidding. I'm never leaving the party early, first of all. Never. And then, but I'm always running late. I've always run late. And I want to change that. I'm not proud of it, but I should just own it. Okay. Okay. Would you rather give up cafecito or tacos for a year? A ver. ¿Qué opina?
Cafecito. Hell no. I can't give up tacos.
Okay.
For sure, I'm keeping my tacos.
Yo tacos, I think.
Really?
Because el café, dude, el café es el café. It's just, yeah, I can't live without it.
True.
Damn.
As Irene jiggles her coffee cup, it is a drink.
I know.
It's green tea. So see, I'm
mira.
like, I'll give up the coffee because I can drink green tea.
I
and
thought
get
she
my
was going to
caffeine.
be a señora over there, cuarentona, and say, it's my Earl Grey. It's my Earl Grey tea.
Oh my God.
I know it is.
It's good.
Now it's good because we're in our 40s. Not before.
I know.
I think I would give up the tacos as well. I can't give up my café. My café con my toast, my café con la mañana. No puedo. I just can't.
You guys are crazy. Tacos. We're talking
Girl.
about tacos, quesibirria. We're talking about
Yes.
lengua. We're talking
Oh
about
my
tripas.
God.
We're talking about adobada. We're talking about dorados. We're talking about...
Irene, you can eat all that without it being a taco. You can eat all that. I had the best lengua yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh,
It has to be a taco. Le pones la tortilla.
mira, una tortilla. Mira, ayer comí lengua. My mom made lengua finally because Horacio came into town, of course, right? Because she does everything for her baby boy. So her baby boy came into town, which is my
Así es.
brother, and my mom made lengua. And she has not made lengua. Maybe she didn't even make it the last time he came. So it's been a while. So she made lengua for her dude, for her little guy. And it was so delicious, you guys. Y con frijolitos, arrocito. Y a mí me encanta. I don't make it into tacos. I like que se me tueste la tortilla un poquito. And I just like scoop it up. Not nacho status, right? I don't want it to be toasty, crispy. I just need it to be nice and hard because, you know, the lengua is, it's jugosa, right? So as I'm scooping it up, I want there to be some crunch in my tortilla. Oh my God. It was just to DIE for, okay? It was so good. So anyway, I can eat it in bocados. I don't have to have tacos. Irene. Pero el café, I can't give it up. Soy adicta. Okay, next one.
Yo también.
Would you rather be stuck in LA traffic with no music or no AC? And Ceci, this could probably be traffic somewhere near, well, no, because the Bay's different weather.
No, I know what it means.
Yeah, so that's right. You do know. So
I'm like, I
would
know
you
what it
rather be
means.
stuck in LA traffic with no music or no AC? A ver, ¿qué piensan?
Gosh, that's weird too because like LA is not that bad. Like you can have the window down. You don't necessarily need AC, but if we're having a heat wave, I guess I'll give up the AC because LA is not too bad. Likely you can survive with the window down, blasting your music. I think I'll keep the music because I can't be without music in the car. I never am. Someone was talking about how someone online was like, my husband thinks I'm a psycho because I just drive in silence all the time. No, I don't. I always have music, podcasts, something.
Okay, so Irene says no AC. ¿Tú, Ceci?
I think I'll say the same because yo también, I always drive with music, something on. Nunca. It's never quiet. I just need something to keep me motivated and driving. Even in the morning, and I have a short drive, like 20, 30 minutes to work. So definitely give up the AC. Unless, of course, I'm riding with one of you guys. Y ahí está, no le vamos a echar la plática. We don't need the music.
I'm gonna say, making my way downtown, windows down, music up, and I'm singing. Yeah, I would take the music over the AC. I'm one of those that even if I have the AC on, es hábito de mi papá. My dad never drove with the AC on, but even then, like he always cracked one window open. Like he always, even if it's cold, if it was raining, la ventana, his driver window would have a crack in it. Like he would open it a little bit to get some fresh air in. So that's me. I have that habit, and I'm like, you know what? I don't mind feeling that hot air when it's that, but I need music for show. So somos 3 for 3 en ese. Muy bien, mujeres. Nos encantan las rolas, the good music. I just said, wow, 3 for 3 on that. We love the good music, that jams, right? That's what rolas mean, right? Jams.
Las rolas.
Okay, that was a good little transition into our Would You Rather.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I like it.
So we're going to kind of transition into a Would You Rather in the sense of a parenting and kind of like a family round, if that's okay with you ladies. Because I know that, Irene, when I had just was about to have Gali, you told me, like, be ready for some good unsolicited advice from everybody, even when they're not even parents, you know? You're like, buckle in for it. So I was like, ugh, okay. So this first question is very kind of pertains to that. Would you rather, Ceci and Irene, get unsolicited advice about your parenting or your career? ¿Qué creen? I know, this is a hard one.
That's a good one. Like, where would I let people be opinionated? Probably like career, because everybody really has careers. But I can't stand people who are not parents giving you parenting advice. Like, fucking can't stand it. Like, you don't know until you've been there. So I'm going to take unsolicited career advice, because chances are more people are coming from a place of having knowledge, not just like, let me tell you how to raise kids, but I've never.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Ceci's deep in thought on this one, so.
Oh, I know. I'm really, I mean, well, it's because I've come to the point in my life where when I get unsolicited advice about my children, even when it's like folks that don't have parents, I just nod and smile. Like, dice Luis, les avientas aviones. So I just nod and smile and just let it slide off.
It was funny because you said even people who don't have parents, but you meant people who don't have kids.
Even kids.
I was like, who is giving you this advice?
Orphans. Okay,
Squirrels?
orphans. What do you know?
Aliens?
even folks that don't have children.
Yeah, exacto. I get it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go with Irene too. I'll just, take the advice about the career, because I'm like, what if I'm like, oh, I never thought about that, and then plug it into, my life.
You know what's so trippy, that even our careers are so personal, and parenting is just so personal because there's not one same type of parent, right? So I think that with that being both so personal, yeah, I think the career advice right now, I'm open to career advice. Just tell me. I don't know it all, and I'm willing to learn. I don't know it all yet. When I'm 80 and I'm 65, actually, when I retire, I could be I want to live that life of like, ya lo sé todo y puedo hacer lo que me da la gana, very Bad Bunny life. I'm going to live that life later. I want to be old like that. But yeah, I would definitely take, I've taken the unsolicited parenting advice, but I feel that right now I'd be more open to the open, unsolicited career advice. And I've been very open to that. So yeah, we don't know it all. And you never know where you're going to land.
You know what? I know. I do that a lot. I do it with my interns, and I do it like giving unsolicited advice for my interns and then my paralegals. Only because I feel like I wish someone would have told me, right? Because they're first gen, right? Going to law school and all that. So I always find myself giving unsolicited advice. I'm like, oh, hey, and I don't know. I feel like it's taken a while. ¿Quién sabe? They're like, esta señora siempre diciéndonos.
Señora, esa señora. You're ancient.
That's crazy. Well, yes, ma'am. Okay,
it's so funny because Jare was over. My nephew was over yesterday, right? He started his first year of college, and he moved away from home. And he was over yesterday with all the fam, and we're all getting together and talking. And we were sitting after our breakfast and the morning talk. We're still sitting at the table, and it's like the afternoon. And he comes back to the table, and it's kind of quiet, like people are on their phones and whatever. And I go, man, he had mentioned about I asked him, how was, you were kind of off the last time I saw you. What's going on? Is everything okay? And he goes, yeah, I had just come off of a all-nighter. I had gone out with my friends. We went to see the sunrise at Newport Beach. Like doing things freshman year. You make friends and you guys go do fun stuff. And it could be any time of the night or the day because you have this freedom, right? Your parents are going to tell you ain't going nowhere, right? So I was like, it took me back to, our days in Santa Barbara. And I was like, dang. And then, of course, me, my old self. And I'm like, I'm going to throw in some unsolicited advice right now. I go, you know what? What I would do if I could go back to my young 17, 18, maybe even through 21. I said, you know what I would tell my younger self? And he's like, what, Tia? Right? Like, kind of like, great. I didn't ask for this, right? I know where this is headed. And I go, I would tell myself to go to bed a little earlier. I would just go to bed a little earlier because I had too many all nights. Like, I'm going to study this extra 3 hours. I'm like, I slept through a final once, right? That was not good because I'd spent the whole night trying to study for that final. Anyway, so he was kind of like, okay, like, lady, I know what you're doing here. Mejor no me digas nada, right? So, learn from the old people. Sleep earlier. Nothing good happens after 10.
Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. That's from a quote from How I Met Your Mother.
That is for sure. So, I mean,
I love how we tell college kids nothing good happens after 10 p.m. The college kids get the totally different version. It's really 2
a.m. That's what they're hearing coming out of your mouth, man. Okay, so in the sense of family, would you rather your kid repeat your worst habit or your partner's worst habit?
I think my partners. I think we're hard on ourselves, right? I'd rather them be more like my partner and what I would consider his weaknesses, because I don't consider them as, well, maybe I'm speaking for my husband. Like maybe he considers his worst habits hard to live with. Like my husband can be very forgetful. And so I think like if the kids are forgetful, like my husband always says, like, it's okay to forget, just have systems. So I think I would rather them live with that habit because they could learn to live with it. I think my worst habit, especially when they were younger, is I was very impatient with them, and I was not slow to temper. Like my family, we were all very known for having temperaments, other than my mom. My mom was always more the calm one. So I think it's better for them to be more at peace and not be so impatient, but be more forgetful. So I would give them my husband's habits and hopefully my husband's systems to cope with those habits.
Okay.
Similar to Irene, that I'm very impatient with them, and then I notice, and no me dan celos, but I'm just like, notice que son más cariñosas con Luis que conmigo, and I'm like,
You're the bad cop.
I'm the bad cop.
I'm not the bad cop anymore, by the way. It gets easier when they get older.
Okay.
When they were little, because I always had to be the one that set the rules and keep them in order. My husband helped less when they were little. So I was like the drill sergeant to keep them in order. And I don't have to be that anymore. Eventually it'll change, Ceci, cuando ellas son más, they run their own life, and you don't have to be like, do this, do that, do this. Because of course they love dad. Dad is like the softie. My husband is still favored.
But he's not though. But he's not.
Pero con ellas?
Pues sí,
Con
pero
ellas?
pero también he's like
still
very
pretty
strict.
disciplined?
He,
Okay.
Like he's he disciplines them. Like, okay, no, niñas, les voy a quitar todo. I mean, when he, ya cuando he's had it, he's more patient than me. I will say that. But también when he's had it, he's like, all right, niñas, no, ya les dije que no, and like this, and then les quita whatever, like el otro día he's like, all right, I'm gonna bag all this stuff, and then se los voy a quitar los juguetes, and I do that all the time. I guess we're similar, I would say, maybe, but he is more patient than I am. So maybe I would say one of his, for them to have one of his bad habits. Yeah. Él es ordenado en muchas cosas. And even when it's like the weekend y ahí está, I'm like, you can just chill. Like, no tienes que estar haciendo. I guess I'm more forgiving to myself. Like, yo no voy a hacer eso. Like, el fin de semana no voy a hacer X, Y, and Z. So I would say, I guess, his bad habits.
That's funny. I think of myself when you mentioned that about Luis, like, go, you can just chill. I'm like super like type A too. I'm like,
yeah.
I would want them to have the habit, like
Yeah.
ambitious and like always. I don't
know.
want them to always be stressed, but I don't say habit with being stressed, but I would like them to be kind of like
Yeah.
type A and go after it. It's so weird.
It's so weird. I know. I always think that. I was like, yo en personalidad soy más como Diego, and maybe you and Luis are more like, okay. Así.
Luego
You know
esto,
what's so
luego esto,
trippy that ahorita que estabas hablando tú, Ceci, I was like, you guys are have a lot similar. Your similarities. You guys are very, very, very similar. You're like the male version of Luis, and the female version of Luis, and he's the male version of you. And you guys are very like, very like extremely similar. You guys are both so similar. So even though you say impatient here, he's impatient there.
He's messier than
well,
me.
then like what is a bad habit? Like the worst
Really?
habit.
He's messier than you?
When he
Oh,
cooks,
okay.
when he
when he
cooks,
cooks.
because and yo, I'm like, okay, uso un traste y lo lavo luego.
Yeah,
Trato
me
de
too.
hacer
like
eso,
my worst
you know?
habit's OCD, so I hope they have my worst habit.
It is.
No, it's funny because I do agree with Vero. I think that you guys are very similar. You're both disciplined. You both have really common, like, shared values. And with the girls, like, I feel like you're both good at, like, following the checklist. Like, and the way you live your lives, practically damn near look like each other. Like they say you start to look like your spouse. Like, great, slender physiques, athletic. Like, you have a lot in common. So maybe it's even hard to figure it out because you're very similar in a lot of ways. So a mix of both your habits.
That's why I was like, I'm stuck. I don't know what to say.
Man, for us, what would I say? Otto and I are not the same at all. We're like totally opposite ends of the spectrum, but not extremes, right? I would say, if I think of my worst habit, I'm like, they'd be just late, right? They'd just be running late to things. And I think of Otto's worst habit, and I'm just like, oh man, I don't know if I would want them to be, like, well, I'm not going to say his worst habit out loud, but I don't know, man. I'm just like,
you got to. We told our
Yeah.
husbands.
Well, Otto's just like,
you got to. Give us a hint.
he's just like, what can I say? I think it's like, I would say sometimes it's drinking, right? And he's impatient. Like, so I feel like for him, he's like,
hey,
oh,
that's a good
it's more
one.
like, we all drink. I can drink, all that stuff, and we have our days. For him, it's just like, oh, But it's not like a habit that he does it all the time. It's just like one time he's like, I'm going to drink and I'm going to drink till I'm drunk. You know, like I'm not going to just drink for a drink for fun. He's like, I don't do that. He's like, I'd rather just not have a drink. So he's very disciplined too. He'll be like, I'm doing this and this is all I'm doing or whatever. But he's very black and white. So he can black out sometimes and it's just like, oh, whatever, you know? But I don't know. I don't know if I would want them to be late to things all the time because I know the feeling of that. And then I don't know if I would want them to have like his worst habit también, where it's just like, well, I'm going to do this. Lo voy a hacer. Es como hacer algo con conviction. Lo voy a hacer porque yo lo hago y nadie me va a decir nada mal, you know? And I think there's a difference in like having the conviction of like, yeah, I'm going to do it no matter what. But yeah, there's a difference in it. So, I mean, I don't know. He probably thinks my habit's something else. And he's probably like, I hope I don't have hers, you know? So,
I know, right?
Like,
I mean,
habits are such a pain in our freaking asses. And they're the blessing of our existence. Our habits are also, weirdly enough, guys, they also sometimes make things work out, habits. So don't knock them till you try them, even the bad ones.
I'll be right back. Let me go serve myself some nothing but water.
Let's all black out for the next episode and do it. Bust the
That's what Amy Winehouse is shit. I'm just kidding. All right.
He would black out. I'm like, it's either white out for him or black out.
Yeah, white or black. There you go. See?
Like, white or black. Angel or devil?
He also, I don't know. I could talk about my husband for the rest of the period, but let's move on to the next question. All right. So this one's going to go into, this is the last parenting and family one, okay? All right. Would you rather your suegra live 5 minutes away or in your guest room for a year? ¿Qué opinan? If we don't want to answer that one, we can move on. Don't worry.
No, I don't mind. Either one would work for me. I love my suegra. She could live in the guest room for a year or longer. She could live 5 minutes away. It'd be dope if she was 5 minutes away forever, frankly. If I could have her forever 5 minutes away. We love our in-laws and they are a huge part of raising these kids. They're going to be here all weekend. They rock. So I'm good with either, Vero.
The in-law was for a year?
In your guest room for a year,
casa,
yeah.
Like
5 minutes away.
Room, como inside your house.
5 minutes away because I don't have easy access to childcare. I don't. So if mi suegra were here, then, you know, she would be readily available. But she's saying
she could live in your house. Do you want her to live in your house or do you want her to live 5 minutes away?
But the living in your house is only for a year.
Yeah, it's only for a year.
You'd rather have her 5 minutes away for longer.
Yeah, for longer right now, especially when the girls are still growing, you know? So, yeah, mi suegra's chill. She's chill and cocina delicioso, so.
Amen.
5 minutes away.
Mine is super chill too. She does not cocina delicioso, but she loves my cocina and they are awesome. They're big helpers.
There you go. I would say the 5 minutes away for, you know, the extended amount of time just because I know she likes her space. I know that, you know, even though she would want to be in her house for the year and be okay with that, I feel that the 5 minutes away, meaning that there's access, but there's still privacy, is key. So, yeah, for sure.
Same. I was going to say, it's always harder cuando hay dos mujeres en la misma casa, en la cocina, you know?
Mujeres.
I know. My suegra likes to say that everybody needs their space. She's so sweet. She's always like, everybody needs their own space. Every wife needs her own space. So even when she's lived with her kids, she likes to live in situations where they have some walls to divide the families. It's kind of cool. But yeah, you never know once you're living with someone what it's like.
El que se casa, casa quiere. Por eso. Okay, let's separate the multi-generational homes and make everyone single. I'm just kidding. Anyways, let's go on to the career and money round. ¿Listas, chicas? Okay, this is a good one. So, would you rather take a job you love with bad pay or a job you hate with amazing pay? Ceci's like, I got this.
Yeah, I got this. The first one, yeah, a job that I love with bad pay. I feel I already did that. And I grew in income. So for sure the first one, then especially at this age, you know, like I'm not gonna, and I see them all the time. I see like, and recruiters messaging me, you know, with private firms or big corporations to go as like in-house counsel. I'm like, I'm going to hate it. It's like, gross hours like all day. And yeah, the pay is going to be amazing probably, but no, I'm happy where I'm at.
All right,
I'm happy.
Nice. ¿Tú, Irene? She's writing her essay right now. Let me tell you. She's
I was just looking at the calculator, like, let me see what my, let me do my math. No, I had the exact answer as Ceci. Like, she literally took the words out of my mouth. Like, I'd rather do something I love and the money will come. And that literally did happen in my life. I now make 309% more than I made when I got there. And I was made fun of for taking that job by my husband, like, because it had so much freaking flexibility. And I just loved the work. I loved what I did. I went there because of the literal mission. It's corny. And then I found a way, and then I grew the org and continue to grow the org, so that if I grow the org, then there's more income to grow those of us that work there, like a profitable business, right? If there's more money to invest in your business, you make more money, you have bigger problems, but you also get to pay people more. So I love the idea of starting in a place that you love. This is not to tell people to go follow their passion and like make no money and have like a crappy job and your parents be mad at us later. Ceci and I both ended our story with the money came. We had jobs that we loved with the money being low. In my case, very low. And then I was able to grow because I would not be able to live my life with the pay that I had when I started there freaking 16 years ago. So I would do that, sure. But also everybody's situation is different. And I don't want anyone right now to listen to this podcast and be like, see, Mom, that's why I should just work at the front desk of this car wash for the rest of my life. Because I love working there. Your mom's going to kill us.
I just love it. All the cars I get to see.
Our advice is within reason. And no offense to anybody who does that. I was just trying to think of some random place where people work at the front office. But I would do the job I love and get paid.
Yeah. We had a friend that started off as a receptionist, and now she's like the vice president of the West for a advertising company,
Dope.
right? So
super dope.
no one's saying don't take that receptionist job. We're saying there's a way to move up. So in my case, I've done the same thing as you two have done, Ceci and Irene, where I took a less paying job for something because I wanted to just try something different. And I ended up loving what I did when I was doing the, director of marketing events for the jiu-jitsu company. I took a major pay cut. And then within a year, I was pretty much not 80% of where I was before. And then by the second year, I was making more. So it's just more of like a calculated risk. And it just happened that it worked out for most of us, But don't be afraid. I think don't be afraid of like, hey, I love doing this. And there's always a way. There's always a way to make more. So that's a good one. All right. So here's the next one in career and money. Okay. Would you rather work for a micromanager or a ghost boss who's never around? Ooh, dun, dun, dun.
Ghost boss all day, every day. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. They are the silent heroes. Oftentimes they actually are doing amazing things. You just can't see them, and they have great teams that get to do their amazing work and everybody's happy. Micromanagers are the freaking worst. And I've actually really, really been blessed in my career. I've never, ever worked for a micromanager, and I've had several bosses. So I think I'd like to say now that I can look back on my 20-year career, I did a good job. I took my job seriously no matter what I was getting paid, and I loved having autonomy. I've always loved having autonomy. I'm going to be responsible for this is a fuck up, but I want to be able to do it. I want to be able to see it through. I want to be able to do it 100%. I want to learn from it. I'm going to feel uncomfortable if I get it wrong, but I want to be able to do it. And micromanagers keep you from failing. They keep you from thinking. You're second guessing yourself. As a coach now, and I have so many clients, when they're micromanaged, it's so hurtful to their careers, to their confidence. And then the worst is like people who get micromanaged and then get laid off. I'm like, oh my God, they have so much to heal from. But I have never had a micromanaging boss. I am not a micromanaging boss at all. And I have seen people blossom and bloom, and just I make more money, they make more money, they have so much growth professionally because I'm just here to be a coach when you need me, to make tough decisions. I love to step in for my team when they have fires. That's what they pay me for. Let me put out fires if you call on me. And then often they're like, I already put it out, boss, this fire's out. I love that feeling of I don't even need to know, you're doing your job. But when, people are trying to come down on staff or whatever, I love to like be the hero if they ask of it. But otherwise, all day, every day, be a ghost boss. I'm sorry for everybody out there who has very bad ghost boss that take credit and are mansplaining when they're around, and they're just like shitty human beings. Not condoning that, by the way, but micromanagers are rough. They're rough.
Ceci, ¿qué opinas?
También the ghost boss for sure, because yo soy disciplinada. I'm going to get my shit done. I don't need someone to be, hovering over me and checking in on me. And I want to say I'm the same type of boss también. I manage a team of 2, and I have a weekly check-in with each of them separately, and we have a monthly all staff meeting, so the whole organization. And then my team, we have a weekly team meeting where we discuss everything going on during that week. Every other week, we go through the case list just to see like who's working on what for that case, what's any updates on the case, any deadlines on that case. But then I have the individual one-on-one meeting. But I know they're doing their thing. No las I'm not hovering over them, and I also like the same treatment. Like Irene says, if I had someone hovering me, like te imaginas cualquier cosa, I would have to check in on them, with them. I'm sorry, and I wouldn't thrive. I wouldn't thrive with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a be 3 for 3 on it. Ghost boss for sure. Because the ghost boss can't be a ghost forever, and when you do need the help, there you reach out. But definitely the micromanager is not my vibe. There's no growth, no learning. There's no space to like for anything, like Irene was saying earlier. So I'm definitely on board with the ghost boss because I would end up fighting my micromanager.
It's also fun because when your boss ain't really there, like you get away with shit. Like I know my team is like, oh, she's here all day. Sometimes I feel like bad when I work late. I'm like, damn, I wanted to leave a little bit early, but I'm sitting here ruining their vibe today.
The mouse is away, the cat's what is it? When the cat's away, the mouse will play.
Dude, as long as we get the job done, everybody's happy, no complaints, and we're growing and succeeding, and the numbers say it. I really don't care if you're taking a 3-hour lunch, but I'm not there to notice because I took a 5.5-hour lunch.
You're
you know
like, because
I mean?
I clocked in. That's it.
But I have caught people cheating the system, right? Don't cheat the system. Don't be terrible to the ghost boss either. But that's interesting.
I people come back from a 3-hour lunch and be like, hey, I forgot to clock in. I was like, did you? Did you forget? You want me to fix your timesheet? You forgot? Really? Okay. Why don't you fill out that form for me right over there? I have to do the fixing of the timesheets, and it's kind of like, really, no soy tonta, pero okay, ¿me trajiste algo?
You've been gone. You went to a funeral. Girl. You're back now. Oh, I was at lunch.
Yes, with the smeared mascara. What? How was the breakup? Everything okay?
They have like fresh nails.
I was like,
oh my God.
Their hair's done. Highlights. Their hair's done all of a sudden. I'm like, you did not look like that when you clocked in at 7. What do you...
When did you get your hair blow dried? At the Carl's Jr.?
I know Yellow Basket don't be doing that over there for free.
Damn, what loaded cafe do you go to?
Real.
You got your toes and your hands.
Is that the Starbucks inside the Target that has a hair done place and everything? Anyway,
no, they're like I went to the McDonald's inside the Walmart. So I got my tires changed. I got new nails. I got new glasses.
All in an hour. All in an hour, boss. Yeah. Actually, 57 minutes. So I got to hear at 1:05.
But forgot to plug in.
All right. So this one's we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, pretty soon. This is gonna be a little more deep. You tell me what you think. Okay. Would you rather your 15-year-old self meet you now, or your 80-year-old self come back to give you advice?
80.
Yeah.
80 for me. 80. Yeah. I don't. The past is the past, and I know my 15-year-old self will be really proud and really happy with so much. But dude, what if my 80-year-old self comes and tells me all these amazing things that I can avoid or like relive or appreciate different or change? They say you should never really manipulate what's going to happen, but I'm going to go with the older me coming back and giving me like so much experience, 40 plus years. What a blessing it would be to even have that person come back and tell me good things. I think the older person.
Sorry, sis, go ahead.
That's funny because you guys know that I have my quinceañera picture here in my room as a joke and it stayed there. So my first thing was like, oh yeah, I would want to go back to tell my 15-year-old self like this and that. But as you were talking, Irene, I was like, ay, sí es cierto, like lo pasado, and I think I did quite all right, right? For like, I for not being first gen and not having really like guidance as I went through life. So yeah, I'm gonna switch my answer and say that have my 80-year-old self come back and tell me like, hey, cuidadito con eso, or haz esto, or yeah, for sure.
Hands down, my viejita self coming back. And she'd be like, girl, ¿qué estás haciendo? Me imaginé que ella walking back, una cachetadona. ¿Qué te pasa, mujerona? Just kidding. No, she wouldn't slap me. I don't think she would. But yeah, I would definitely take my 80-year-old self. I think like Irene said, like my 15-year-old self did it. We're here, and I have no regrets. People have asked me before, would there be a redo or something you would want to try and do over, write a do-over? And I'm like, no, I think all the little decisions, whether they were in a sense good or not so great, because they're never bad. They're just a decision you happen to make at that moment, right? They happen for a reason. And there was a reason why you made the decision, and it helps you either teach you a lesson or it's going to help you with some way, but we have to be able to look back, right? And be like, okay, well, what did I do, and learn from, if it's a mistake, learn from it. But I would love to see my older self come back and be like, hey, look, you do make it to 80, first of all, you crazy person. And then, see what she says. I'd love to see what I would look like, my future self.
Same.
Like that me dice, get to running earlier, get to your walks earlier, Vero. Don't wait too long. So I think it'd be nice to see that older self come back and give me some great tips, or just give me a hug, like you're still doing so well.
I would love that. Oh, that makes me emotional. Give me a hug. I would love that. My 80-year-old self coming back, looking good, feeling good, and my partner, my husband, still being with that 80-year-old self would be really cool. Imagine they come back and they're like, enjoy them because they're going to die when you're 50. Like,
oh my God.
Like that would be so sad.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Sorry, no, that's what I'm just saying. Like, I hope they come back and the terms are all the terms I want to see. Like, oh my God, you're going to have so many grandkids, or something really adorable. Right? Yeah.
I saw a really sad I reel on IG. I always refer to reels, but it's, es que no tengo amigos. I'm just kidding.
No, that's where we get all of our stuff. Yeah. We used to say TV before.
We used to say TV. On IG, there was this man. They interviewed this man at a park, and they're like, "Oh, sir, how old are you?" I'm 80. No sé qué. And he's talking, and he's like, "You have a great sense of style." I was like, "Thank you." And then he starts asking him questions, and he goes, "What advice would you give?" Something like that. And he goes, "I would have gone for the girl. I would have gone for it, and and even if she said no, I would have gone for it and not have, in a sense, he didn't say it, but it was like, instead of constantly thinking about whether or not it would have worked out." And then in the conversation, he also says, "Oh yeah, well, I don't have any direct descendants." So this man never married.
How triste, solito.
So solito, reminiscing on life. And he's just like, "Oh, no direct descendants." I was like, and then his one thought was, I would go back and ask the girl. So
come back and ask me. We gonna be husband wives. Let's go be husband, whatever.
We'll share Diego.
Pobrecito. We will share Diego. Aquí te doy una esposa que es hombre.
Llegó nuestra otra esposa. Nuestra esposa ya llegó. But yeah.
Sad,
I know it's super sad, but I'm saying like to kind of wrap things up, it's a would you rather. So I think the last thing would be like, would you rather? You don't have to answer it, right? Would you rather live thinking about the shoulda, woulda, coulda, or rather think like I did it, and good thing I did it because I found out that it wasn't gonna be for me, or that at least I tried and I did well, or I tried and I failed, but then I learned from it. So don't live in the second
for sure. También. Second. Go through the stuff.
Go through the motions. Cry. Get your heart broken. It's gonna be okay. Like in Suits with Lewis. I'm so happy for Lewis now in season 7.
I love it.
So
I love it.
But yeah, that's a wrap. So I hope that you all enjoyed this. Muchachas, gracias por indulging in this conversation of the Would You Rathers. It wasn't too risque, but it was good. And if you were listening, I hope you kind of answered along in the podcast of like, uy, no, yo no haría eso jamás, ¿no? ¿Cómo? So, we want to hear from you. What would you pick? So when we drop this episode, please feel free to share in the comments on either in el Face, como somos las cuarentonas, or in el DMs on the comments in the IG after the post. Please feel free to share that. You can always find it at our website, leveluplatina.com. And don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, share this episode with your comadres, amigas, all those people that you love. Because everyone needs to argue about whether they'd rather give up tacos or cafecito or meet their 15 or 80-year-old self, okay? So that's a wrap. If you want to continue the conversation, also you can contact us with our emails, which is admin@leveluplatina.com. Other than that, se cuidan mucho. Nos vemos en la próxima. Se la cuidan y se la lavan, por favor.
Besos.
Hasta luego.
Chao.